Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. We're looking a little rough today. Della is just here jumping around. She might start screaming. We don't really know. But I just want to jump on here. So we're gonna hear multiple interruptions today. I can already promise that, especially because we have this one sitting with us. Damien is out of the house right now at a job interview, so that is why I have all three. Anyways, today's video is basically going to be why we decided to move to New York, because if you can't tell, we are in a different house. This does not look like our old house whatsoever at all. I still have to do a house tour. We didn't film moving in because A, didn't know where my camera was, and B, everyone that was helping us move in wanted to do it their own way. So we didn't film that, but I can film a house tour once I get it cleaned up a little bit. But anyways, so we did move to New York. We did move from Florida to New York. So these were some of our determining reasons of why we chose to move and why we chose to move when we did. That's what I meant to say. So I think the biggest contributing factor was moving closer to more family. Down in Florida, we had my mom and my dad and one set of grandparents is all we had down there, so we moved closer. My sister has kids the same age as our kids, so it makes it kind of nice because then they have cousins to play with that are right down the street basically. And also my grandparents live here. Another thing that was pretty big on our list was better housing. Our house in Florida that we owned was deteriorating very quickly and very fast. I also think it had a lot to do with some of the health issues that we were having. There was mold all over our house. There was a whole entire wall that was, if you pushed on it hard enough, it was going to come off the side of our house. So there was just a lot wrong and very high ticket items to fix, and we could not be doing that type of construction with 3 kids in the house and also Damien working full-time. He was basically never home with enough time to fix the house. So the choice was ultimately decided that we needed a new house, whether it be in Florida or New York, and Florida housing prices are ridiculous right now. Anywhere around us, you had to basically fork out $500,000 for a even livable house. So that just wasn't in our cards to do. So we chose the next best option was moving, because we needed something housing wise that was safer. The next thing that made us move was the weather. And I know a bunch of you that probably live in a snowy state are saying, what do you mean? Why would you move away from the Florida sunshine? We hated the sun. Absolutely hated it. It was brutally hot 24/7, and you just like never caught a break unless it was winter or raining, and it just wasn't good for us. We don't really go to the beach very often. We would go to the beach maybe like once or twice a year, so we are not beach people. So like going on hikes and stuff, it's not possible there because it's so hot, and some people still do it, and kudos to them, but almost every single time we would go out somewhere, one of our kids would get heat exhaustion. So that was a no-no for us. I am originally from where we live in New York now, and Damien is originally from Massachusetts, so I knew what snow was. I knew how bad snow can get where we live. I've never dealt with it as an adult, but our first week being here, we did get snow, and it was kind of fun. The kids got to play in it. Yeah, so snow really doesn't bother us. Also, another thing is the amount of hurricanes that we were getting where we lived in Florida was just ridiculous at that point. I think last year we got like, I think it was like 2 or 3 last year or the year before. It just got a lot to be like deciding whether you were leaving, whether you were staying. it was a lot. So we just said, no more please, thank you, let's leave. Okay, so we're in a little bit of a different place, and if you can't hear me, it's because there's a bunch of different noises. Okay, so I think we left off with the weather topic, and I think I got cut off when I was saying that the hurricanes were a big contributor into us going bye-bye. Because they were just all the time nonstop where we lived. It was just like constant. That was like always their path. So it was a nice change. Obviously here you can have major snowstorms and everything like that, but sometimes it's less than a hurricane, sometimes it's not. So you're just trading out one for the other, kind of. The next thing is just us having like a fresh start. We've never really had that before. Even like when we like moved out of my parents' house, I just feel like it was just like an extension of what we were doing before. This was new, as in new place of living, new jobs, new career, new everything. So I think we honestly needed it a little bit. I think where we were kind of just stuck in a lot of ways. So yeah, just like a fresh new start. The next thing is homeschooling. So we planned on homeschooling the kids even if we were living in Florida. Here my sister homeschools her kids, so my sister's like already part of like some stuff, which Quentin is now a part of. So it makes it a little better and a little easier because there's someone that I can say, hey, how do you do this? I have no idea what I'm doing, and she's done it before. Another big thing I feel like is how expensive Florida is getting, and I know a lot of people are going to come on here and say, oh well, New York is even more expensive. I would beg to differ. Certain things, yes, are more expensive here than they are in Florida, but everything in Florida, the price has gone up. Housing prices, rent prices, our electric was even going through the roof there. Like the price of food, the price of gas. Where we live in New York right now, Damien was talking to his grandma that still lives in Florida, and she was saying that gas is the same exact price here and there. So people always like to say that gas is cheaper there. It is not. We've been finding it sometimes a lot cheaper than what we would be able to find in Florida. So that's a big thing. Price of food is, I would say, about equal or cheaper here. We did take a trip to Massachusetts, and the price of food there, wow, that's scary. Even like getting like McDonald's there was ridiculously expensive. So the price of stuff here, for us at least, is a lot cheaper. Rent prices are tremendously cheaper here. Rent prices in Florida before we left were so astronomically expensive, it would have made no sense to even rent, and you should have just bought, but you can't get the loan because the houses are so expensive. So yeah. Another thing is how Another thing is how overpopulated Florida is. Living there, and so many people that already live there, that it was getting hard to even go to the grocery store because the traffic was getting so horrendously bad where we lived. Do you want to play with your toys? Sorry, I had to close my computer because Della's trying to get it now. But yeah, so it was taking us 30 minutes or over to get to our nearest Walmart, which is just crazy to me. It was technically closer than what we live to a Walmart now, bless you, and it was taking us that long. Now it takes us like 10 minutes to get to a Walmart. It takes us basically 10 minutes to get anywhere where we live, which is very nice, which also leads me into my next point, which is very small town to compare to what we're used to. In Florida, we lived, I feel like nowhere's really small town there, unless you live in, are you trying to stand up? Yeah. Unless you live in like the very small towns in Florida, you're like almost always near something. So we lived in I would say a bigger city. Like there was a lot of people and it was close to everywhere. Anyways, yeah, here everything is very small town. Like one high school, one like just like I don't even know how to describe it. Like we have like one Walmart, one grocery store type thing, and where we used to live there was like 3 Walmarts. There was like a Target. Like here we have to drive a while to get to a Target because we're just not in a very densely populated area, even though we live in one of the more populated cities, I would say. But even to get to a big city, it's still not that far, and we're still willing to make a drive because getting to a big city here would be the same time frame as getting to Walmart in Florida. So everything's just a little bit closer, a little bit better for us. We're having a great time, and not to say that moving to New York is the best thing, but it was definitely the best decision for us to make at the time. So if you're thinking of moving and everyone is telling you not to move to New York, definitely reconsider. Obviously I'm not talking about New York City or a big city in New York, but the small towns are still here and they're thriving just sort of like everywhere else. And you're not gonna pay those over glorified Florida prices like everyone else is right now, because everyone is flocking to Florida like it is the best destination there ever has been. So yeah, those are some of our reasons that we moved here, and there's probably plenty more, but I just can't think of them right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we will be back on either Tuesday or Thursday, whatever day this is posted, opposite of that. So we'll see you guys later.